Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This video is about the 50 states of America, the people, the places, the history. We have been doing this series for a little while now, and we're all the way to Louisiana. That's where we're visiting today. So I bought this at Barnes & Noble. It has flashcards for each state and a book with a little bit of reading about each state. I'm doing this because I love to learn more about our country, and my goal is to one day travel all these 50 states and to go visit so many different places, and this gives me kind of information about the different states. So I hope you'll like, comment, subscribe, and share, and join us on this journey. So without further ado, let's just get on with what we're doing here today. Louisiana joined the Union April 30th, 1812. Don Lemon says, I love Louisiana. There's no place on earth like Louisiana, and there's no city on earth like New Orleans. And some people say it New Orleans, and some New Orleans, New Orleans. There's many different ways to say it, but that's the card. All right, on the back of the card, the abbreviation for Louisiana is LA. The nickname is the Pelican State. The animal symbol is, of course, the pelican. The population is 4.7 million. The area is 5,143 square miles. The time zone is the Central Time Zone, and the state is the 18th state to enter the Union. The capital of Louisiana is Baton Rouge. So there's that. All right, let's move right along to the book that goes along with it and go to Louisiana. First, I'm going to show you the wetlands because that way I don't have to stop and do the picture after I get through this. Louisiana's coastline is dotted with thousands of barrier islands, forming a natural landscape of swamp and marsh, favored by alligators, salamanders, turtles, wading birds like egrets and pelicans, and rare species of fish such as the sturgeon. The landscape is under constant threat of erosion from the sea and human actions in redirecting some of the waterways and levees have threatened to cut off this vital supply. Major conservation initiatives are underway to restore and protect the unique environment. And there's your picture right there. Now, Louisiana holds a unique place in American history and culture. Its present-day personality being a cocktail of influences, blending Native American with French, Spanish, English, and Afro-Caribbean, some of which, such as Creole, Cajun, and Isleno, retain their distinct identity in their food, music, and language. Lapped by the Gulf of Mexico with Texas to the west, Mississippi to the east, and Arkansas to the north, it is the land of the Mississippi Delta. Mardi Gras, jazz, and hurricanes echoing the mix of peoples. Louisiana supports a fertile but fragile natural ecosystem. Its rivers, bayous, forests, lakes, and coastal wetlands providing the habitat for a vast array of flora and fauna, including pitcher plants, longleaf pines, black bears, alligators, pelicans, and rare species like the gopher tortoise and the red-cocked woodpecker. French influence. For thousands of years, this extraordinary natural landscape was occupied by mound-building tribes whose earliest creations can be seen at Watson Brake in the north of the state. From the late 17th century until 1803, with the exception of a period of Spanish ownership, Louisiana was a vast French territory occupying a swath of North America from the Gulf of Mexico up into Canada. It was named in honor of French King Louis XIV by the explorer Robert Cavelier de La Salle in 1682. The southwest part of Louisiana is known as Acadiana, after the French-speaking refugees who fled there when they were ousted by British from a part of Canada known as Acadiana in the 1760s. These Acadians, in parentheses says Cajuns, developed their own dialect, cuisine, largely fish and shellfish, and music, fiddle and accordion, which are a familiar part of Louisiana culture today. In 1803, Napoleon sold Louisiana to the United States for $15 million, comprising 828,000 square miles, doubling the size of U.S. territory overnight. The Louisiana Purchase, as it became known, was a surprise deal and one not widely acclaimed by critics of then President Thomas Jefferson. But it proved a pivotal moment in the history of our country, effectively ending French interest in the region, securing vital access to New Orleans, and preparing the ground for no fewer than 15 of America's present-day states, from Arkansas in the south to Montana to the north. 9 years later, on April 30th, 1812, Louisiana, now a fraction of the size of its original territory, became the 18th state. And I'm going to read the little orange box here. Hurricane. Every year, Louisiana braces itself for hurricane season, which peaks in September. On August 29th, 2005, Hurricane Katrina struck Louisiana with such force that it caused over $100 billion of damages and took the lives of 1,577 people. Cotton Empire. In the 19th century, New Orleans became the largest slave market in the United States, a lavish commercial center resplendent with the homes of wealthy cotton planters who were thriving on the back of the slave trade. When Abraham Lincoln became president in 1861, with a promise to abolish slavery, Louisiana left the Union and joined the Confederate States. At that time, nearly half the state's population was black. They brought with them the African song and dance traditions that would evolve into jazz and blues, with New Orleans and its environs spotting a flow of musical greats such as Louis Armstrong, Fats Dominoes, and Buddy Guy. Mardi Gras. The French and Spanish influence in Louisiana meant that Roman Catholicism was the dominant religion and helped shape the customs and traditions of this part of the United States. The Mardi Gras, literally Flat Tuesday festival, is a case in point, bringing tourists to New Orleans in droves every year at Lent to take part of the flamboyant carnival celebration. Such festivals were a traditional part of Louisiana's agricultural heritage, but from the middle of the last century, the state's economy moved away from crops toward the production of oil and gas. Nevertheless, the forces of nature are impossible to ignore in Louisiana. And then the last picture, the little saying beside the last picture says, is of the French Quarter, New Orleans. Tennessee Williams said, America only has 3 cities, New York, San Francisco, and New Orleans. Everywhere else is Cleveland. And I'm going to show you the picture of the house. I have been to New Orleans a few times. It's only a few hours. And I really can't wait to go back, because one thing I haven't got to do that I really want to do, the times I've gone, I've been to a conference there and other stuff, I just haven't had the time to visit the World War II Museum. It is an amazing, amazing place. I've watched videos and stories about it. It's real interesting to me. That is like something that I hope to do soon, is to go do that. My grandfather fought in World War II, and he went in at Normandy. He was in the first, I think the second wave that went through, and I really am interested in seeing some of the stuff from that time, because my grandfather was there. And so it's something that interests me, and I want to learn more about it. So, that's another one of the things on my bucket list. There's so many things and so many places. Being in New Orleans and being a few hours away, I've been there, and to see the beautiful architecture in the houses there. There's a beautiful aquarium, a zoo, and so many other things I don't even know the gist of. I'd love to see some of the plantations and stuff, but my visits have been short. We took the kids on a field trip to the aquarium. Well, we were going to the zoo, but it was storming, so they sent us to the aquarium instead. At least they honored their tickets just to send us to the aquarium. And then when I went to a conference there, and I've probably driven through there a few times, but because I'm not into the big drinking partying thing. So it's just a beautiful, there's something beautiful about every state. And mystical. New Orleans is kind of mystical, I think. But it's just one of those places that everybody needs to see. There's somewhere in every state that we need to see. You know, here in Florida, the beaches, the Everglades are just natural beauties. Key West, a lot of people go to Key West, and there's other beautiful places. Out here at Pensacola Beach is just an amazing, wonderful beach. So much history here, you know, and there's so many other places that I want to go and see. So there's a bunch of just neat places. But that's it. That's the video tonight. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Sorry I babble at the end. I get so excited to share with y'all though. And don't forget to check out my other videos. We're doing the Bible recap. We're doing that. We're reading the Bible in a year in chronological order with the Bible recap as our guide. I do Avon videos because I sell Avon. Temu because we buy some Temu sometimes. We do inspirational videos and travel videos. Of course, when I travel, the past couple of years, I've started taking some videos or taking pictures and made them into videos because now that I upgraded my iPhone and I got this iMovie to work, I could do it. And of course, the child advocacy videos. Please, if you don't watch anything else, I keep saying this in my videos, watch the one on online predators because that's how they're targeting our children nowadays, and you need to become very aware. The child I've been watching today, I just was on one of these things and I was watching the crime channel, and so many stories of children killed by their parents or caregivers. It's just horrible. And in January, I took a human trafficking class. So learning how our children are targeted, we've got to learn to protect children. We've got to learn to look and listen, report when we see something. And these videos are important too. If you have children, they may know somebody and they might start coming to you and say, Mom, Dad, what do I do? Such and such is going through this. So we need to educate ourselves. But I'm going to stop going on and on. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the videos. And thank you for being part of my family. God bless you all and have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow. Good night.